This podcast is powered by Anchor.fm at ng Podmetrics. Kilig na sa kalagitnaan ng show para malaman nyo kung paano ma-distribute and analyze and monetize your podcast as well. So with that out of the picture, let's start the show. Welcome mga dudes sa mga dudettes. Ito na naman si Kevin ng Elitistang Weeboo podcast sa isa na namang maulang episode dito sa Justice Open Studios. Na-stuck ako dito ngayon because wala akong payong. To say something about me, I'm somehow habak cursed or may sumpa ako pagdating sa payong. Pag may payong ako, nawawala. Parang siya. So yun, kamusta lahat? Sana tuyo kayo habang pinapakinggan nyo to or hindi kayo nababasa ng ulan, umiinom ng kape, mayroon ng something na mainit habang nakikinig ng podcast. Hopefully, yung podcast namin, or podcast na to, or music calms the soul. Ika nga. On me, ano bang bago sa buhay ko? So yun, approved na yung work at home. Setup ko, hooray. Less risk from going out. And dahil may lumalabas ng mga kung anik-anik na bagong variants and stuff. And di pa ako vaccinated. By this time, mas safe na tayo in this coming weeks. And hopefully, makakapag-record na ako ng madami. Or kami ng madami kasi may oras na ako to record something with the guys. So, yan for me. So, July. The month of July. Ano ba yung mga pinanood natin itong July? Hindi wala masyado kasi yun nga lang, busy ako sa work. But, hey, yung He-Man Revelations. Master of the Universe pala, hindi siya He-Man. Masters of the Universe Revelation is already out on Netflix and from what I heard, it's good naman daw. So, hopefully, pag nakaluwag-luwag ako, I'll see that. I know, hindi siya anime. It's an animated series. Pero, hey, kasama siya sa childhood ko. He-Man along with Thundercats, along with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Actually, nung bata ako, wala naman akong distinction kung ano yung American cartoon or yung anime talaga. Like your Yu Yu Hakushos or your Dragon Ball. So, lahat sila pare-parehong cartoons sa mata ng nanay ko, ng tatay ko. Actually, yung tawag nila doon kiningkoy. So ito, July, something big happened from our friends at Bandai Namco. So they had this live stream a few weeks ago. Take note, it's a live stream with an announcement along with a mini concert. Pag-uusapan natin lahat yan pagdating natin dun sa topic na yun. Basically, a new Super Robot Wars game is upon us. It's for the 30th anniversary ng Super Robot Wars, one of the biggest game franchise sa Japan, and it's getting some traction na. In the West, nagkakaroon siya ng traction. Let's talk about Super Robot Wars for this edition ng Elitistang Weeboo podcast. Before we go to the proper Super Robot Wars, basically, Super Robot Wars is a mishmash of all your favorite mecha animes from the past, the present, and hopefully the future. Pero wala pa naman silang future mecha series na pinapalabas. I think that's impossible unless may time traveler na animator or something na magdadala ng something from the future. Start talking about mecha. What is mecha? Mecha basically is a term used sa sci-fi genre that pertains to giant mechanical robots. From your aircrafts that's considered a mecha, your bipedal robots, yung robot na may gulong o robot na apat ang paa, as long as it's a giant robot or something mechanical that works or that's being piloted or being remote controlled by someone, that is a mecha. Mecha is a big genre pagdating sa animation. One of the first animes was actually a robot anime or a mecha anime. One of the first anime is like 40s or the start of the 1900s. Pero what we call or what give us yung somewhat modern interpretation natin of a mecha is from 1956 when Mitsuteru Yokoyama was created a manga titled Tetsujin 28 or Iron Man 28 if you're not familiar with the Japanese title. 1956 nagsimula yung manga and it became an anime in 1963. Basically, Tetsujin 28 is somewhat of a super weapon na ginawa ng World War II para maipanalo yung giyera. However, yung nangyari yung natalo yung Japan, nuclear atomic bombs and whatnot. And the robot was being piloted by the creator's son, and hindi niya ginamit yon for war and something. So ginawa niya siya para siyang superhero na robot. So it's somewhat parang yung Iron Giant. Remember the Iron Giant animated movie with Vin Diesel before he goes full on family? Yes, he was a robot before that. And bago rin siya naging taong puno. He was Iron Giant. So that's something you could hunt online to watch. It's amazing. Sana mapanood yung giant robot. So another thing about mecha, or from our modern interpretation of a mecha series, is of course mechas are designed to be piloted. So the first piloted robots started in, fast forward tayo into 1972. Go Nagai created Mazinger Z. It's the first time that a robot is being piloted by someone, which is Koji Kabuto, and it blew up. I think it has a really high rating for an animated series. What more? One of the highest rated television shows sa Japan back then. Paano pa yung anime nun? I think one of the highest rated anime from that time, bago pa yung mga Demon Slayers and whatnot, and your My Hero Academias. So, that's Mazinger Z. Mazinger Z is a giant robot that is being piloted by Koji Kabuto and fight Dr. Hell and his mechanical beast. 1972, it runs for like 90 episodes. So, para siyang from 1972 to like 1973 to kalagitnaan ng 1974, we have Mazinger Z as a anime series of a giant robot. Another big thing about robots is they combine, or what they call in Japanese, the gatai. Gatai, spelled G-A-T-T-A-I. It means combining. 1974, Ken Ishikawa, co-created by Go Nagai, yes, that's that name again, created Getter Robo. Yan yung pinakaunang robot na nagko-combine. It actually has a story. Paano na-conceptualize yung Getter Robo? Back in the 70s, Ken Ishikawa and Go Nagai had talks with Toei Animation to create another robot, kasi super big nga nung Mazinger Z due to the merchandise, the toys and whatnot. So, sabi ni Toei, hey, gawa kayo ulit ng isa pang robot. Kahit anong concept, tatanggapin namin. As long as it's a giant robot. Go Nagai had an idea to have a combining robot, or robots na nagko-combine nga. Nahihirapan silang mag-conceptualize kung paano nila gagawin yung combining robots. Then, they got into a car accident. Yes, it's morbid. I know, it's kind of dark, but hey, inspiration comes in different ways. From that car accident, naisip ni Go Nagai, ba't hindi lang ganito? Para siyang cars, na binangga mo yung mga cars, tapos ganun lang siya nagko-combine. Get a Robo. Originally, they thought na sasakyan na kino-combine para maging robot. Sounds familiar? Then nagsimula yung concept ng Get a Robo, and in-scrap nga nila yung mga sasakyan and they go with planes kasi nga mas malawak yung hangin, or mas malawak nga naman yung kalangitan to do the combining stuff. Of course, hindi pa rin na-scrap cars being used to combine, because if you're watching other mecha series like Dankuga, or Might Gain, or a lot, so combining cars is still not out of the picture. So from that, the 70s become the decade of super robots. All the channels sa Japan have their own spin on the super robot. You have your Grandizers, your Jigs, Kotetsu Jigs, your Danguard Ace, you have your Raiden, as in a lot of giant robot na ginawa doon lang sa decade na yon. Of course, some of the big mecha series nung panahon na yon is something na sumikat din dito sa Pilipinas. Become part of our childhood. Other from Mazinger Z was shown here in the Philippines along with Combattler V, na originally pinalabas siya ng like 1976. So, what's significant with Combattler V is siya yung first combining robot na hindi Get a Robo. Joke lang. Get a Robo is just being consist of three parts to be combined. That's Get a Robo. Combattler started the 5 combination robots. So before your Voltes 5s, before your Power Rangers, Combattler V has the 5 combination robot already on its sleeve. So 1976 Combattler V, fun fact, yun yung start of what fans, or what we call the Super Robot Romance Trilogy. So basically, the Super Robot Romance Trilogy is something na, yes, still Super Robot at its core, but romance. Hindi siya yung love story in a sense, romance as in, hindi siya tungkol sa mga Italians as well. Romance is something of alam ko, pag sinabing romance, iniisip nyo agad love story and whatnot. Inspiration, subjectivity, and primacy. So, basically, it's a lot of things. It's more plot-driven, to say the least, the Super Robot Romance Trilogy. And it started with Combattler V. It's more focused on the plot with the Super Robot Monster of the Week at its core. So, if you wanted to watch Combattler V, Anime Kabayan, no, not Anime Kabayan, search to YouTube, Combattler V. Someone uploaded episodes of the Tagalog dub Combattler V episodes. So, kompleto yon. Panoorin niyo siya sa YouTube. And you could look for Anime Club. Anime Club has all the dub episodes in Tagalog ng Combattler V, Daimos, and Voltes 5. So that's our Super Robot Romance Trilogy. Combattler V is a good one, especially yung villains niya. Garuda is a really awesome villain. Kaso hanggang to episode 26 lang siya. Then after that, Empress Janera it's the first one of the Romance Trilogy. I think natuto naman yung creator to have their awesome villains na tumagal ng more than 26 episodes. So pagdating ng Daimos, Prince Ulrich, and pagdating ng Voltes 5, Principe Sardos, or Hynel if you are a purist of the Japanese dub or the Japanese, are awesome villains and tumagal sila hanggang last episode. So, Anime Club on YouTube, meron sila nung lahat ng episodes in Tagalog. So, punta na kayo sa channel na yon, grab some beer, have some snacks, and watch some awesome 70s robot action. Of course, the Super Robots flourished in the 70s. However, lahat na bago ng 1979. A creator or a director named Yoshiyuki Tomino. He also works on other Super Robot series like Zambot 3 and Ideon, Ideon. Super Robot shows yun, pero he is known to mecha fans as the progenitor or the father of Gundam. 1979 is the start of the rise of the real robots. Paano na iba yung super robots from your real robots, like your Gundam? Super robots, like your Mazinger Z, your Voltes 5, your Combattler, and Daimos, those robots are being portrayed as superheroes. They do superhero stuff. Real robots, on the other side, are more into robots that are mass-produced, that's first. Nothing special with the real robots. They are something na being used into warfare, and most of the real robots have that as their main plot, warfare. So, it started with Gundam. Sumunod-sunod na yan. From your Gundam, your Dankuga, your Dragonars, your Votoms, 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 and your Lasners. So, 80s became the year that real robot took stage. Real robots, mga weapons of war, nothing really special about them unless you're a special kind of pilot or you have the skills to make the robot awesome. Like sa Gundam, at the start, it's just a prototype. Dapat nga, on our interpretation, sa colloquial term or sa real world, pag prototype, usually dapat hindi pulido. Glitchy pa siya, to say the least. But with the right skill or the right pilot, that prototype can be really awesome. So, doon nahati yung genre of the mecha. Super robots and real robots. 90s, ganun pa rin. There's still like elements of the super robots and the real robots, especially with your Braids or your Yusha series, your J-Decker or Firebird, Might Gain, Gao Gaigar. Those are super robots, pero there are still like elements of the real robots with them. Let's go with the meats and potatoes of this episode. Back in April 20, 1991, Pan Presto back then, hindi pa siya nare-rebrand into Bandai Namco or hindi pa siya nagiging part ng Bandai Namco. But hey, we have this robot series that we wanted to be a video game, so why not mash them together? And thus, Super Robot Wars was born. Let's dig deeper into the Super Robot Wars proper after these messages. Okay? Stay lang kayo dyan. This podcast is powered by Anchor.fm, the easiest way for you to distribute your podcast into other platforms like Spotify, Google Podcast, and the like. Register lang sa Anchor.fm for an account and you can have your podcast edited there. Meron silang editing tools doon that you could use. You could also use Anchor to record your podcast. Pagka-upload, tutulungan ka nila into having it distributed onto other platforms, gaya ng mga sinabi ko kanina. And with your podcast being distributed to a lot of platforms, of course, gusto mong malaman kung yung performance ng podcast mo. So, having a lot of platforms could be a nightmare, lalo na kung you wanted to check your progress. Diyan papasok yung isa pa nating kaibigan, ang Podmetrics. Podmetrics is a analytics platform na tutulungan kang i-consolidate lahat ng data mo from those platforms into one place para malaman mo kung ilang nakikinig sa'yo, ilang taon yung mga nakikinig sa'yo. On my case, parang like 7 countries na yung nakikinig ng podcast ko. Yay! That ranges from North America to as far as Europe. I think may nakikinig sa akin from Germany, Guten Tag. May nakikinig sa akin in Jordan. Siguro, nadaanan niya lang yung podcast. Pinoy siya, something. And the awesome part is, hindi ka lang tutulungan ni Podmetrics to have your analytics be consolidated in one place. Podmetrics is also the easiest way for you to have your podcast monetized via sponsored links. So just log in or just sign up, create an account at podmetrics.co. Sabihin mo, pinadala ka ng Elitistang Weeboo podcast. We have a code that's Elitistang Weeboo. That's capital E-in-W and ang Weeboo is spelled W-E-B-B-O. Okay? One word din. Walang space. Ang Elitistang Weeboo. So, what are you waiting for? Go with Anchor, upload your podcast, and go to Podmetrics to have it analyzed and monetized as well. Let's dig deeper into the Super Robot Wars. So ayun, April 20, 1991, the Game Boy gave birth. Yes, the Game Boy graces Super Robot Wars as one of its games from its large library. It combines 3 series pa lang on the first game. It's Mobile Suit Gundam, Mazinger Z, and Getter Robo. In the succeeding years, it is now known as the Super Robot Trinity. Most of the Super Robot Wars games have at least a Mazinger, a Getter, and a Universal Century Gundam on their entry. Maliban sa Super Robot Wars J na walang Getter, and yun pala yung natatandaan ko. But yeah, most of the games from the main line, it has like 69 games na from the main line that ranges from the first Game Boy till the PS4. The 69th game, which is Super Robot Wars 30, which was announced a few days ago or a few weeks ago from the time na nire-record ko to. Super Robot Wars, 69 games, most of them exclusively Japanese games sila, but there are some games na pinatch, yung menu was patched para malaro mo siya on your PlayStation or PlayStation Portable, PSP. So, Super Robot Wars Z2, both Hakai Hen and Saisi Hen are patched para malaro mo sila. Menus lang hindi lahat-lahat translated nun. It's fan-translated or it has the menu translated para you have like the gist of playing the game, which is I'm gonna explain later on. Other things, their Super Robot Wars games are fully translated into English. Super Robot Wars J, the Game Boy Advance, merong fan translation na gumagana. So, you could search on it on the internet. So, just type in Super Robot Wars J English patch and makakita na kayo. And of course, you'll need an emulator for it kung wala kayong Game Boy Advance. Another notable thing, Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden is also translated into English. It's a PS1 game, so if wala kayong PS1, or you could actually just like play it on an emulator. Along with that, Super Robot Wars Alpha Portable can also be played on your PlayStation Portable or PSP Alpha Portable. So those are like some of the games na translated or fan-translated into English for your enjoyment para magkaroon lang kayo ng gist on how to play a Super Robot Wars game. Pero on the past few entries, Super Robot Wars V for Voyage, Super Robot Wars T for Terra, that's yung ibig sabihin nun, and Super Robot Wars X for X Worlds are all being translated into English. So, mainline Super Robot Wars games sila with licensed mechas from various studios. All those threes have full English translations. But I think it's the Southeast Asian release ang may English. Hindi siya hindi siya available on North America. Nakalimutan ka din. On fully translated Super Robot Wars games, you can also have your Super Robot Wars Original Generation or OG 1 and 2. Both of those games on the Game Boy Advance are fully translated. the OG games or original generations is the set of games is only composed of Band Presto originals or yung original robot designs nila like SRX, Alt Eisen, and Whis Ritter, Daigen Guard, and Osensator, and a whole lot more original mechas. Malalaro mo yung Super Robot Wars OG and OG2 on the Game Boy Advance and Super Robot Wars OG Moon Dwellers on your PS4 and whatnot. Fully translated yung mga laro na yun. So, hunt lang sa internet. You can find something there. So, how does a Super Robot Wars game or paano siya ipine-present? Basically, a number of mecha series from different studios, most notably your Trinity, your Getters, Mazinger, and a Universal Century Gundam, along with other mecha franchises or series like your Full Metal Panics, Code Geass, Gurren Lagann, and the like, is being mishmash. Parang ginawa silang isang buong story that encompasses all those series or some of those series. Basically, para siyang the ultimate fan fiction. What if para siyang ginawa mo siyang parang MCU pero iba-iba silang properties. Parang ginawa mong MCU pero kasama yung DCEU and kasama yung Bloodshot kung dadagdagan din pa nila yung Bloodshot onto other series as well. Parang ganun siya. I-encompass niya yung stories from several mecha series and it gives us scenarios na fans lang yun na what if nakita si Judao at si Shinobu Fujiwara, Judao Ashita from Double Zeta and Shinobu Fujiwara from Dankuga. Fun fact, isa lang yung voice actor nila and that's Frankie. Kazuki Yao. Super trivia. So parang ganun. What if nasa isang mundo lang si Koji Kabuto from Mazinger Z and Shinji from Evangelion, magiging emo pa rin kaya si Shinji? Kung kasama si Koji Kabuto, that's one of the best part about the Super Robot Wars as a presentation. It gives you unique scenarios in regards to interactions between characters from different series. One of the best part of it, isa yun sa mga best parts. And also, from the game itself, it's tactical RPG, so it's an acquired taste. I enjoy tactical RPGs being a guy that plays RPG games a lot. Tactical RPG, so there are turns, you move your characters on the map, you choose between move, attack, defend, buff. Those are basically like the main components of the gameplay of a Super Robot Wars game. Marami yan. Parin na kailangan mong like it's instinctive naman in a sense, especially kung marami ka na nilalarong tactical RPG games like your Advance Wars or Fire Emblem. So yun, parang ganun gameplay lang siya. And konting tweaks lang on the main gameplay style, pero basically ganun lang nilalaro ang isang Super Robot Wars game. Alright? Let's go with the Super Robot Wars 3 that was announced. There's a live event and a mini concert, which really awesome mini concert. It has Jump Project, it has Ichiro Mizuki, Aniki, and I forgot the name of it's a girl group. I forgot the name. Pero what's awesome about it is hindi lang siya announcement of the Super Robot Wars 30. It's also a celebration of the 50 years of the legendary Ichiro Mizuki. Ichiro Mizuki or Aniki to some fans and also some other singers from Japan is a singer, a really old one. I think he's already like 72, 73 on this time. And they show tribute to him. They make him sing kahit na he has like a paralyzed vocal cord. But you still feel, on my case, you still feel his spirit is there. Pero hindi lang talaga kaya ng boses niya. But he still sings. They started the show with him singing Team from Mazinger Z. I forgot the name of it. Pero nakanta nila siya. It's still awesome. It still has the intensity there. They announced Super Robot Wars. They show the roster kung sino yung mga kasama doon sa iteration ng Super Robot Wars na yun, which is, I'm gonna divulge later. So, wait for that. Jump Project sings the song for the new game. Tapos, they all ended it up with a song, with the Mazinger Z song. The one that started the Super Robots with Ichiro Mizuki. Me, as a fan of the mecha genre, of course, it's nostalgic for me. I grew up watching mecha animes before I became aware of mecha animes in genre. Bago ako naging fan ng shonen, bago ako naging fan ng manga, I was a kid that likes robots. Mazinger Z, Voltes 5, Combator V, Daimos, I consumed them all. Gundam Wing, Gundam X, Gundam G. It grooms me into a fan that I am now. I enjoy mecha, which branches out into my love of tokusatsu, my love of Sentai and Kamen Rider, my love for giant robots, giant monsters. And it's parallel out. So I have to thank one guy, and that's Ichiro Mizuki. If I haven't been hooked with the Mazinger Z song, which is also the first anime song na kinabisado without hearing that Sora ni Subieru Kurogani no Shiro. Baka wala rin ang podcast na to ngayon. Baka wala yung Elitistang Weeboo podcast. So, hearing him, kahit na he has like a sickness, paralyzed na yung throat niya, but he still has the intensity. He still have the spirit to sing. Parang, yun, iyak ba ako? Iiyak ba ako sa episode? Walang video, so walang evidence. Yun nga, parang naisip ko rin na, hey, this guy has been singing anime songs, tokusatsu songs for over 50 years. It makes awesome memories, not just for me, but for other fans as well. It also, as parallel into other awesome anime singers, or for the anime songs, Hironobu Kageyama, your Masaki Endo, your Jump projects. And it all started with just a guy that shouts Z, and it's inspirational. It's the cheesy stuff. So again, think there's still the videos on YouTube. You can search for that. Ichiro Mizuki like sings 3 songs. Kahit na from his condition, Aniki, get well soon. I want to hear your voice again. I want to hear that Z. He sings something from Mazinger Z. He sings with Jump Project, which he actually founded back in 2000. So, with Rika Matsumoto, the singer for Mask Rider Ryuki or Kamen Rider Ryuki, he sings Combattler V and Mazinger Z, of course, the one that started it all. So, again, thank you for 50 years worth of songs na Aniki. 50 years worth of songs that me as a young to getting old fanboy to enjoy to for the rest of my life. So enough with the sappy stuff. Let's get into the fun stuff. More fun stuff, I mean. Of course, Super Robot Wars 30 is not a Super Robot Wars without getting into what robots or what mecha series yung pinagsama-sama nila ngayon. Returning, of course, your Trinity, andon, Gundam. So from Gundam, the Universal Century timeline has Gundam, the original one, which is parang hindi na nagawa ulit or ngayon lang nila ginawa ulit to incorporate the original Gundam from 1979 into a Super Robot Wars game for quite some time. Zeta, I wish may Double Zeta because Double Zeta is my favorite Universal Century Gundam series other from the first one. Pero meron silang ZMSV, the OVA, Char's Counterattack, which is available pa rin sa Netflix. I hope by the time na narinig nyo itong recording na to, panoorin nyo siya before watching Hathaway Flash. And Gundam Victory, Gundam Victory is part of the Universal Century. Parang hindi rin siya nagawa in a long time. So excited to see Victory Gundam again. And sana hindi lang Victory Gundam, sana makuha niya din yung Victory 2 because Victory 2 is my favorite from that series. Of course, Narrative, which is another Gundam movie that is set on the Universal Century. I really wish sana Unicorn na lang or Hathaway Flash para kasama pa rin may relevancy with the current movies. From Universal Century, Getter. Of course, Getter Robo, hindi mawawala ang Getter Robo, but the thing that they added, surprisingly, is Getter Robo Armageddon. It's a 12-episode OVA from the guy who directed Gundam G, another awesome Gundam series, which is malalaro nyo siya or kasama siya sa roster ng Super Robot Wars T. So, you can also play that game para makita nyo yung awesomeness, which is G Gundam. Getter Robo Armageddon, so Shin Getter Dragon will be there. And maririnig nyo ulit yung Stoner Sunshine, the awesomely named super attack from Shin Getter Robo. Of course, isa pang nagbabalik, which is matagal din siyang hindi nakita on a Super Robot Wars game, is Elgaim. It's an 80 real robot series, kasabay siya ng Orgus, Macross, and whatnot. So, alam ko, ang dami kong binibigay ng mga titles ng mecha anime. So, take your time, search the internet. Pag nakita nyo yung visuals, if it's appealing to you, watch at least an episode or 2 or 3. Hanggang sumunod-sunod na yan. And you'll be into the mecha rabbit hole, I hope. Of course, Mazinger Z is included. Hindi mo kompleto ang Trinity kung walang Mazinger Z. So, with Mazinger, interestingly, ang sinama nila is Infinity, that movie that celebrates the 50 years of the Mazinger Z franchise. Kasama siya ulit. And a surprising thing na sinama nila is Mazing Kaiser, Infinity. So, to those who don't know, Mazing Kaiser is an upgrade of Mazinger na create ang tatay ni Koji Kabuto to, just in case na masira yung Mazinger Z, he has Mazing Kaiser, which is awesome. Which is really, really more powerful, more bulky, and more awesome than your regular Mazinger Z. So, yun, kasama siya. I really hope na andun din yung Great Mazinger. Naka-Infinity din dahil kasama siya sa movie. Another returning series is Gao Gaigar. This time, it's Gao Gaigar Final and yung sequel comics niya, which is Gao Gaigar versus Betterman. Hindi siya naging animated, manga lang yung Gao Gaigar versus Betterman. So, it's really awesome na isinama na nila into Super Robot Wars game ang manga series na yan. Another one na isasama nila on this, isa pang nagbabalik is Code Geass. This time is yung pangatlong movie or pangatlong compilation movie, Lilichud the Rebellion 3, kasi if you wanted to have like a more condensed version of the Code Geass story, kung ayaw nyo manood ng 50 episodes that's spanning 2 seasons of the anime series, you can watch the compilation movies instead. So, meron 3 compilation movies. It's like below 2 hours, 1 hour and 30 to 2 hours. More condensed siya than the 25 or the 50 episode series. Pero it's, para makuha nyo lang yung full experience, watch the 50 episodes. It's good. Kasabay siya ng Death Note that makes, yun, isa pang awesome anime series back in 2006. 2008, I mean. Yung mga panahon na yun. Watch Code Geass. And also, Code Geass, Lelouch Resurrection, which is yung sequel movie ng Code Geass. Kasama yun siya. And it's, Lelouch of the Resurrection is kind of divisive sa mga fans, but it's an awesome, or it's an amazing continuation of an amazing series. So, if you have the time, panoorin nyo yung mga series before diving into Super Robot Wars 30 dahil sa October pa naman siya lalabas. So, dig deeper. Gun X Sword, another awesome anime series, is gonna be returning, and Magic Knight Ray Earth. Magic Knight Ray Earth. So, makikita ko ulit yung waifu ko, si Fu. So, gusto ko lang sabihin, andun yung Magic Knight Ray Earth sa rosters. Mapunta na tayo sa mga bagong series na idadagdag nila. First one is medyo bago lang, Knights and Magic. So, it's an isekai series na recently lang pinalabas. So, it's like 12 episodes. I forgot ko how many episodes yung Knights and Magic. So, that's one. Majestic Prince is another series na medyo recent lang. Hindi ko pa siya napapanood, but I'm gonna watch it before digging into Super Robot Wars 30 pag lumabas na yung game. And this is the biggest surprise na nilabas nila. For me, it's the biggest surprise na nilagay nila on to the series. SSSS Gridman. Baby Don Don, Baby Don Don. So, Gridman, it's a tokusatsu series back in the 90s na gawa ng Tsubaraya Productions, which also made Ultraman. Basically, para siyang Matrix, pero nilagay mo lang si Ultraman. So, Gridman is the biggest surprise kasi it's more into tokusatsu realm or the tokusatsu realm, and it's Tsubaraya. Ngayon lang may nilagay na property from Tsubaraya for Super Robot Wars, and that could mean a lot in the future of the franchise. Before tayo mapunta doon sa future of the franchise, that's the roster. I can't wait to have Gridman on the Super Robot Wars game. It's really exciting to grid beam ganun. Into like the Zeon, the Mecha Beast, and kung sino mang bad guys ang ilalaban nila sa atin. So, Gridman, yes. Kung hindi nyo pa nahalata from the tone of my voice, I'm really excited to get this game. And from the trailer, may snippets din sila on other units na nandun from the original generations. Yung original robot nila, it's a Hakibine. So, Hakibine, kung just a quick rundown on that, it's basically their Gundam, yung Gundam ng original works or ng original designs. ng Ban Presto. So, it has like, ito na yata yung like 5th na iteration, Hakibine 30. Mukha siyang pimp dahil may 3X yung bandang mata niya, but it's looks awesome. I really wish na may upgrade siya into like a boxer frame para Hakibine 3 or something like that. Yung serial robot niya is maybe more gravity cannons or whatnot. And also, from the original generations or the original designs, SRX or Super Robot Type X is gonna be in the game. Yehey! Makikita natin ulit yung Super Robot fanboy na si Ryusei piloting one of the most ridiculous robot designs or robots from the franchise. Imagine this, 3 real robots pinag-combine mo into one big, awesome super robot. Tapos is fanboy. Para siyang wet dreams ng mga fanboy tulad ko. Imagine piloting your own super robot na natin. So, yun. That makes me excited with this game. So, I can't wait to get it ordered. Wala pa akong Switch. So, ipon-ipon muna tayo sa Switch para malaro natin ang Super Robot Wars 30. As we wind down with all this crazy talk about the mecha genre or Super Robot Wars, what's in the future? Ngayon, 30 years na ang Super Robot Wars. And there's no plan of stopping, which is good. Because just like the mecha genre, from its conception back in the 50s and the 60s, the mecha genre, kahit hindi siya ganun kasikat within modern fans kasi more into shonen or your isekais, mecha is still there. Back Arrow, Shinkalion, a lot. Sunrise also have created a new IP for a mecha series. Koromukuro, Knights of Sidonia, Kuroganiro Line Barrels. Dami pa rin mecha series na nilalabas. Captain Earth, Yamato, Space Battleship Yamato is being remake or kakalabas lang yung remake niya. But the mecha genre as a whole is still there and it's evolving. Ganun din ang Super Robot Wars. In the future, I hope we get more odd choices. Sinimulan na nila ng Gridman. It's Tsubaraya, Ultraman, Ultraman Zero, Ultraman Z, or any Ultraman. May mecha din sa Ultraman universe. Genbot, J9, G9. Yes, give me that. If yung mobile games nila, they also have introduced some oddballs. Gokaiger, Zyuranger. I can't wait for the day na may there's a Super Sentai robot on a Super Robot Wars game. Kahit someone from Zenkaiger is already on Super Robot Wars DD, yung mobile game. I hope it's a start of getting more tokusatsu-based robots on the Super Robot Wars game. Leopardon from Supaidaman, Daitetsujin 17, and a lot. Mecha Godzilla, Kiryu, heck, even Godzilla. There's a chance one of these years, maybe Super Robot Wars 40 or something, or Super Robot Wars Kaiju Wars something. Tokusatsu is a uncharted territory. It's somewhat of a final frontier na hindi pa nila napupuntahan. And I'm really excited what stories or what interactions can they give. Imagine Koji Kabuto talking to Haruki from Ultraman Z. And a lot of story potentials or interactions na from those scenarios alone. And I'm excited to have those be played or have them be played in the future. So, I've been rambling a lot. Yun, I want to, as my closing remarks, to thank everyone. I know, super bagal nung uploads ng podcast. We're all struggling a lot. I really hope and really thank you for listening. I know, pakunti nagiginig sa akin. But I really hope na you find enjoyment on this ramblings that I am having each month on this corner of the People's Park, or what I call the Justice Open Studios. So Keith, thank you for editing this. Nakakailang shoutout na ako sa'yo. But again, this is really big. Really thank you for this. Sa mga nakikinig, salamat. And tuloy natin yung usapan. Ano yung gusto nyo makita sa susunod na Super Robot Wars game? Sino yung dream nyo na mapunta sa Super Robot Wars? Ano yung favorite yung Super Robot Wars thing na nakita nyo or interaction na nakita nyo? I already given mine, pero what's yours? Or what dream scenarios ang gusto nyo makita sa Super Robot Wars? I think hindi nila ginawa to sa Super Robot Wars T, but they have like Guy from Gao Gaigar, Ryoma from from Getarobo, Koji Kabuto, and Domon freaking Kaishu. But walang shouting match. But walang combination attack between the King of Hearts and the King of Braves. Or kahit stage na lang that has the King of Hearts and the King of Braves fighting. Kahit magsigawan lang sila, but wala silang ganon. Pero thank you for listening to this crazy talk that I'm doing each month. So, if gusto nyo kaming sundan on what we do or updates in regards to the podcast or kahit sa mga personal na buhay-buhay namin, we have socials. So, follow us at Elitistang Weebpod on Facebook. That's facebook.com/elitistangweebpod, POD. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Elitistangkebs, both on Instagram and Twitter. May Twitter din ang podcast, the podcast itself at Elite Weebs, letter Z. And if mag-online shopping kayo sa Pilipinas if mag-online shopping kayo, use our link on your browser. Just go with podlink.co/ZAF, and from that link, anything that you order on Shopee, I think may sale na naman sila coming August 8, so that's something that you could take advantage. Use the link. A portion of your purchases is gonna be a great help. Of those purchases is go with us, and that would be a really, really big help para may pagpatuloy natin ang podcast na to. And again, yung sinabi ko on the top of this podcast, work at home setup na ako in a few weeks. So, mababawasan na yung time ko or magkakaroon na ako ng free time since hindi na ako masyadong magko-commute. So, I really hope I could do recordings on a more consistent time. But for now, thank you kalahat. Reach us on our socials. Email us at elitistangweebpod@gmail.com. If you want to talk business, may gusto kayong tanong, may gusto kayong mensahe, or tell us that I suck, na masyado akong madaldal in something. So, all those criticisms, all those encouragements, all those help is really, really appreciated. Hanggang dito na lang muna tayo. Again, this is Kevin, and ingat-ingat tayo, mga dudes, tsaka mga dudettes. Zep!